But one thing interesting that you two have in common, in addition to being amazing reporters, is you're both the children of judges. Your dad was a federal judge. Your mom was one as well. What do you think? Well, let's start with you, Kristen, because you talked with your dad about whether Mershon should recuse.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's not going to make the choice for someone else, but he did say that he would have probably recused himself, just given the high-profile nature of the
because
case.
Of the daughter?
Because of the daughter, and because the fact that it was being brought up.
How bad is it that the corrupt judge in the New York case against Trump is being called out by CNN? The fact that he's even contemplating putting Trump in jail is absurd. He obviously should have recused himself from the very beginning. But putting Trump in jail? Are they really that desperate? I'll save you the time. Don't answer. Obviously, they are. Well, the other guy needs to wear garanimals and be hidden from public view so he doesn't make any gaffes. Meanwhile, you got Trump basically out there telling the American people what he intends on doing to save America. We have reached peak absurdity on the Dementia Joe protection plan. But luckily, we have a man running for president, a truly fearless individual who's willing to do what's necessary to save America. You can say a lot of negative things about Trump, but you can't call him a soy boy beta male, not whatsoever.
Because they all want to keep me off the campaign trail. That's all this is about. This is about election interference. How do we stop it? And it's a disgrace. And then you have the other thing that maybe is even more disgraceful is the gag order, where I can't basically, I have to watch every word I tell you people.
He's not the only one. Those of us who make these videos on YouTube, we're under sort of a gag order as well. There are certain things we can't say. It's happening all across America, and it's even happening to somebody who was president and is likely to be the president once again. A gag order. You can't talk. You are not allowed to say certain words.
You asked me a question, a simple question, I'd like to give it, but I can't talk about it because this judge has given me a gag order and said you'll go to jail if you violate it.
That's absurd. I cannot even believe that he ever said those words in court, that he may have to put Trump in jail.
And frankly, you know what? Our Constitution is much more important than jail. It's not even close. I'll do that sacrifice any day.
Ooh, gauntlet thrown down. What are you going to do now? Checkmate. Judge, it's in your hands right now. You want to put this guy in jail? Go for it.
But what's happening here is a disgrace, and the appellate courts ought to get involved.
Fox News confirms via a source familiar with the discussions there are internal conversations within the U.S. Secret Service regarding Donald Trump going to jail.
Can you even believe that? Can you fathom that America has got to a point, guy running for president may be put in jail? That this man running for president who could actually win could be in jail while their people are voting for him. It doesn't make any sense. Where have we gone as a country? You can't say what you want to say. Someone's going to be offended, but you can say whatever you want on the other side. You can go ahead and deface statues. You can go ahead and take over buildings. Nothing ever happens. Everything is fine. You can burn, you can riot, do whatever you want. All of that is okay. However, if you stand for America, oh my God, you're going to go to jail.
Those conversations picked up yesterday after the judge floated.
I think that would just help him. I think it would help him.
Oh, I think it would help him too, but the Secret Service, to David's point, they have to know how to do it. They have to be prepared, which is wild if you think about that.
They are actually making plans in case Trump has to go to jail. Are you serious? To the judge up in New York, Judge Merchant, if you haven't heard it yet, let me be the first to tell you, and I firmly believe I speak for tens of millions of Americans. We dare you. No, actually, we double dog dare you. You go ahead and F up and find out by putting Trump in jail. And that's not a physical threat of any kind. I just know what will happen after you put Trump in jail. Trump will raise millions of dollars. Every poll will be a disaster for Dementia Joe. You, in essence, will clinch the election for Trump. So go ahead. We dare you. Feeling like a big tough guy, want to swing that gavel and make sure everybody knows that you're the man? We dare you. Go ahead. Put Trump in jail. And you may wonder, how can I feel so confident? Let me tell you why I'm sure. Who would you want running America? A diaper-wearing, mumbling, bumbling, old man who can't seem to put sentences together, who they now have to hide in a basement because they're afraid of what he might say if he's, out there on a campaign trail? Or a strong alpha male who's willing to take arrows for you?
The country is on fire. There are choice of being canceled. They can't.
I can't believe that. Can you believe that they're actually giving in to these little commie terrorists on campus and canceling graduation? You're giving in to 100 or 200 people on a campus, half of those people which aren't even students, and you're saying to the other 20, 30, 40,000 people at the college that you can't come and enjoy a commencement ceremony because of these little nut jobs, because we don't know how to handle them. Are you kidding me? Is that what we're talking about here? Is that what Dementia Joe can't control? I'm sure Trump could control that.
As you know, in Colombia, they're canceling a lot of them, and we have a president that just refuses to talk because he can't talk. You know that, and so does everyone else.
In addition to that, he absolutely needs Michigan. And he's afraid to call these people out. These people can't even spell Palestine correctly. I mean, I saw an image today where they said Free Palestine, and they spelled it P-A-L-A-S, Palestine. They're idiots, complete morons, and you're giving in to them. And how can they possibly be issuing demands upon a college? These college presidents don't deserve to be in the position that they're in. Luckily, down here in Florida, they stopped it right away. And they told them, we're not running a daycare center. We're running a collegiate institution. Try that stuff here, and you're gone.
Some of the statements made about this witch hunt on CNN, fake news CNN, Michael Moore said the proof of falsifying records has not been accomplished.
Nope, it hasn't. Everybody's still waiting. Where's the crime here? I know it's salacious. It sounds juicy. It makes for great television. I understand he's talking about Stormy Daniels, who's testifying today, by the way, so that should be some fun. But other than that, it's not against the law to sign an NDA. It's not against the law any of the activity that he's done with Stormy, whatever activity there was done. And then you're going to bring out Michael Cohen. Good luck with all that.
On Good Morning America, they said, we heard that expense payments to lawyers are legal expenses.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Any of us who have run businesses understand when you write the check to an attorney, it's a legal expense. That's it. Period. Done. And by the way, when's the last time before all this began that people were able to pierce the corporate veil and attorney-client privilege and actually have an attorney that you paid testify against? Nope, never happened. But against Trump, it's okay.
You pay a lawyer expenses payments. We didn't put it down as construction costs, the purchase of sheetrock, the electrical cost. The legal expense that we paid was put down as legal expense. There's nothing else you could say. You don't have to put down anything, I guess. But we put down legal expense was legal expense. Is that a correct statement, Mr. Attorney? And everyone's saying, oh, gee, that's the fraud. That's what.
It's a shame that these 12 jurors who he spoke about, if they're going to ignore all of this and just, basically decide to convict him, understanding that there's no crime here, if they're going to do all that, this thing will eventually be overturned on appeal. However, we have to get to that process, and in that time frame, they may go ahead and convict him. He may be a convicted felon until the appellate court overturns it. But in the interim, these nuts may actually get a conviction.
They're trying to get us on the fact that we call a legal expense. They marked it down in the books. The check was signed. And the other thing, this was approved by all agencies. Everybody saw this. There was nothing being hidden at all. That's what they're all writing now. There's been nothing hidden. And it went through agencies, and I guess it went through the IRS also. It went through IRS. It went through the FEC.
Now understand that. This is the most investigated man in history. Beyond Capone, beyond John Gotti. This is the most investigated man in history. Ask yourself a question. How many other people, let's rephrase that. How many other politicians could go through the scrutiny that Trump has had to go through? How many people do you know personally could go through the scrutiny that Trump has had to go through? And this is the best that they could find? Some payments possibly to some woman through a third party who can't even acknowledge that Trump told him to do it? That's the best you can do after, 7, 8 years of trying to dig stuff up on this guy and nothing? They've got absolutely nothing? Man.
It went through everything. Also, NBC Today showed the challenges that there is no smoking gun. no email or tape to prove the president's intent. They don't have a way to prove that.
Understand that word he just said, intent. In order to convict somebody of a crime, you have to show an intent. I don't know what kind of instructions he's going to give the jury, but any real judge would let a jury know, hey, listen, you have to show there was an intent for a crime to be taken place. First of all, you have to show that a crime took place. As of today, no crime has been shown. Not a single aspect of anything has shown to be a crime. So before you can give the jury instructions on how to, basically develop an opinion or a conviction on a crime, you have to show a crime, and they haven't shown one yet. I don't think many people understand that. There has been no indication of a crime. None.
That's NBC Today show. And then Fox News, Katie Cherkasky, said that the gag order is unconstitutional.
See, all of this is going to get overturned. It's probably going to end up on the desk of the Supreme Court because the appellate court may, basically brush it under the rug. But you can't do these kind of gag orders. He can do them now because he can basically have carte blanche. It's his court. But understand, there are checks and balances that are going to happen way after this. Something tells me the U.S. government and New York State are going to pay Trump millions, tens of millions of dollars before this is over.
Which, of course, it is. The gag order is unconstitutional. So with all that's going on, they have no case. Every single legal scholar that I see, maybe there's somebody out there, some whack job, but for virtually everyone that I've seen has said there's absolutely no case. It's a case that shouldn't have been brought. The previous DA wouldn't bring it. Bragg didn't want to bring it, and he brought it because I'm running in number one place. This all comes out of the White House and crooked Joe Biden.
I understand when he says that, for the powers that be who think it's fake news. No, Colangelo, who's actually running this show, Alvin Bragg was just a dog and pony figurehead out there. Colangelo is actually running the prosecution. Colangelo worked for Merrick Garland. He worked in the Biden administration. So he's not lying. That's not misinformation or disinformation. You don't see Alvin Bragg. When's the last time you've seen Alvin Bragg? When's the last time you've seen anybody talk about Alvin Bragg? Alvin Bragg isn't questioning the witnesses. None of it is being done by Alvin Bragg. It's all being done by a DOJ prosecutor on loan to Alvin Bragg.
Comes from the White House, and it's all Biden because it's an attack on his political opponent. That hasn't happened in this country. It does happen in third world countries, but it hasn't happened in this country, and it's a shame. And the trial is a very unfair trial. It's a very, very unfair trial. The good news is they have nothing. Thank you.
He knows this trial is BS. The media knows this trial is BS. And we all know this trial is BS. At this point, all they can do is overreact. They are absolutely stuck at this point. They know inherently Dementia Joe has no chance against Trump. So watch. They may indeed throw him in jail. But like he just said, they got nothing. They really have nothing. They don't have a case here, and they don't have a case anywhere. Fani Willis, she's a train wreck. Jack Smith, that's probably going to get dismissed because he planted evidence. Letitia James, her entire charade is probably going to get thrown out by the appellate court. And all they got is Dementia Joe. That's it. They're stuck with him. Let me know how you'd feel if they actually do something as stupid as putting Trump in jail. Talk to you soon.